Welcome, everybody, to the Six for Sixers podcast. I am your host, your brother, Creek Creek, your fellow Sixer fan, lifelong fan, fanatic, whatever. I've been a lifelong fan since ever since I can remember following basketball. I've been a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers, and here we are today. Sixers are fresh off of a win, so I decided to make this video. I was not going to make a video until the West Coast swing was done because the games are so late and I'm on the East Coast, so trying to make a video when your whole house is asleep, it's 1 a.m, is tough. So I said, let me just wait till after the whole West Coast swing, but today is a special day. So I decided to jump on here today. I'm going to recap really quickly. I'm going to do my 6 for 6 for the Clippers game, and then I'm going to recap the other two games from the West Coast swing. And then we're going to be out of here today. The Sixers had a great day. And as a fan, it's a great day too. Please remember, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff that everybody says at the beginning of their podcast and throughout the podcast. Yeah, definitely. And also on the Facebook page, we're active, the 6 for Sixers, on Facebook as well. Bigger community there, but we're trying to build this one up. Let's get into the game. Sixers defeat the Clippers 121-107. And I guess maybe in the second quarter, I actually put a Facebook post up that basically said, the true test is going to be if the Sixers can maintain this type of intensity for 4 quarters, because that's been really our downfall, is that we will have some really good quarters, but not put it together for all 4 quarters. And we know teams make runs. You're not going to stay up the whole game when the Sixers were up, pretty big during the game. I think we were up like 20 points or something. Well, that was kind of in the end, but in the beginning they got really hot in the first quarter. That a team's going to make a run, but can you withstand the runs and so forth? So I was skeptical, honestly, because we haven't been able to put together 4 quarters in a while. But they maintained the pressure, the intensity, came out with the win, and won big, 14-point win. The game was close in the third quarter. The Clippers had tied it up. But other than that, the Sixers dominated the first half and pretty much came alive in the fourth quarter to really go up in the game. So great win by the team. And I was also not knowing if we could come out of the West with a win. We need a win. We need all the wins we can get, trying to actually get into that 6th playoff spot, because the play-in tournament will force, if Embiid comes back, for him, to not really have any rest before the playoffs start. It's like a whole extra round there that we would rather avoid. So in order to avoid that, you got to be in the 6th spot. And we've been back and forth. At one point, we were in the 6th spot after beating the Knicks. And then we went, the next game we lost, and we're back in the 8th spot. So that's how tight Eastern Conference is right now. We probably will make the play-in tournament at least. We're not going to miss the playoffs, but we're not going to miss the play-in tournament, but we'd rather avoid that. So this was the third game on the West Coast swing. Sixers took the win. Number 1 point, first point goes to Cam Payne. Cam Payne, man, he's taken a lot of heat since he replaced Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley was a fan favorite, and Pat brought that energy, had that swagger, had that demeanor that really was fit Philadelphia, because that bully style, that brash, really aggressive style of play. And so people missed that when Pat Bev was gone. But so when Cam Payne came in with some already a burden, and he really had to prove himself. And today he really did. He has overall, to me, he doesn't have that defensive aggression that Pat Bev have. He doesn't have the one-liners and that braggadocious thing and that leadership that Pat Bev just kind of has. But he can score at a much higher clip than Pat Bev. He can put up numbers in bunches, and today was absolutely no exception. Cam Payne put up 23 points today, particularly 3-point. He was bombing 5 for 10 from three. He was a spark in the first half, but then he also was really instrumental in helping us when the Clippers started surging in the third quarter. Cam Payne really was one of the main gunners to help keep that fire burning. Great game overall. I mean, he even had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and this is all bench work. So those are like starter stats coming off the bench. He really, really helped hold up that whole second unit coming off the bench. So great game by Cam Payne. When he plays like that, obviously we do not miss Patrick Beverley because, I mean, Bev put up some numbers too, but it looks a lot awkward. It's not as fluent, and it's not his Pat Bev is just like Pat Bev would score when nobody else was going to score, and he would just then he would take a shot. But Cam Payne thinks shoot first. He's very confident in his offense. And I love what he brought today. So great game, Cam Payne. That's point number 1. Point number 2, defense. The Sixers defensively have been not great since Embiid went out. And reason being, Embiid is a rim stopper. He's a big guy, covers up the middle, and he can move. He's mobile. So he can rotate on defense. He's where he's supposed to be. He's not afraid to contest anybody that comes in and trying to dunk, trying to get a layup, whatever. Embiid has tracked him down, blocked shots, and so forth. And Bamba and Reed typically haven't done that, and that puts pressure on the defense all the way around. And today was different. I think that then my last point is about the coaching staff, but I'm going to say it early. Shout out to the coaching staff, because coaching staff really had a plan for how to defend the Clippers, who are by and large a very perimeter team. I mean, they got Zubac down there in the paint, but really most of their gunners are going to be James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, and when he's healthy, Westbrook, who was not in the game today. But they have a very perimeter-based game, and the Sixers put a lot of pressure on the perimeter, double teaming Kawhi Leonard, and also putting a lot of pressure on James Harden. Harden able to penetrate and dish and get them some easy baskets. But, I mean, the defense in that first quarter was ferocious. Now, Tobias Harris played great defense. Going to get to him later. But really the whole team was just making the right rotations. The Clippers just could not get in a lot of good open shots, good open opportunities. And shout out to the Sixers for playing great defense. Mo Bamba and was also a rim blocker. He's learning how to play it. You know, he's getting better. And then where he stops, Paul Reed's able to pick up and pick up where he left off. So, man, great game defensively, which we haven't seen a lot of from this team lately. So great game defensively. That's the second one. Point number 3 is 3-point shooting. And I've been saying it all season that 3-point shooting is essential to this team because we shoot so many 3-pointers that it's important that I'd always put a number of like 30%. Anytime we're below 30% is usually a loss. Yeah, but really, if they could shoot above 35%, and when they get into 40%, it's tough to stop them because you got multiple guys, Harris, Maxey, Cam Payne, Buddy Hield, Lowry, who did not play today, but that's 5 guys who can hit the 3-point shot. So when it's hitting, it's hitting. And even times where Mo Bamba and Paul Reed have taken some threes. It's very difficult to stop when they shoot a very high percentage. In the first quarter, they started the game from 3, 8 for 10, 80%. So it's almost impossible for a team to defend that. Overall, today they were 48% from 3, almost 49%. So they almost hit half the threes. When we're hitting like that, it's going to be a long night for some teams. And that is a key to our offense, because we don't have that interior game like when Embiid plays, or Embiid also plays the mid-range. You have guys who really like to shoot up the 3. And Buddy Hield is going to be primarily a deep threat, and so is Tyrese Maxey. But, Maxey penetrates as well, but he still likes to bomb from 3. Great game. Shout outs to some 3-point snipers tonight. Buddy Hield, 3 for 6, 50%. Tyrese Maxey, 3 for 5, 60%. Harris, 50%. Cam Payne, 50%. And then Ricky Council got some time. He hit 1. And Dalton also was 1 for 3. Collection, 48%. Great game from 3. That's my point number 3. Point number 4. Point number 3 was 3-point shooting. Just realized that. I know it's corny, but, let me get that. Point number 4, Tobias Harris. I called the Swiss Army knife. I've been riding with Tobias for all season and last season as well, when he's getting bashed on. But he gave us tonight what the potential is for him. 24 points, 11 to 19 shooting, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And that's a great night for him, a great day for him. Good effort. The thing that doesn't show up always in the box score is that defense. And he was on Kawhi Leonard at some points in the game. He also was on James Harden at certain points in the game. And he was lights out today, aggressive. And the thing about Tobias, we know he has the skill. He always demonstrates the skill, but it's that aggression. Is he going to bring that aggressive spirit, that aggressive nature every day, that aggressive going to the basket, posting up, spotting up for 3? And, he was been injured, a good, he's been injured lately. Even when he's played, he still hasn't really looked like he had the mobility. So you got to give him that. I think he was battling through some injury. He looked all there today. So look for him to do great things in the next days. 20 and above is what we need from him, preferably 25. And if he can bring that, what he did today, again, very difficult team to beat, because he adds another dimension to the team. So great game, Tobias. Very complete game. So that's my point number 4, Swiss Army knife, Tobias Harris. Point number 5 is about our all-star, Tyrese Maxey. Maxey is obviously a very skilled player, high energy, second best player on our team, but he's been lacking in certain areas. And the main area that we see him deficient in is leadership. And when Embiid goes out, it's really evident that we don't have a leader. It has been evident that we really don't have a leader. And today was one of the first games that I really have seen Tobias play like a leader. Not just scoring so much, but just when guys look to him, they give the ball to him, they are setting him up with picks and screens and so forth. And he just made the right decisions today. He didn't look out of control like sometimes he can look. He didn't look flustered at all. He didn't look he was just throwing up any type shot. He looked really under control, really like a floor general. And it showed in his stats, because I don't think Maxey needs to get that 30 point or 40 or 50 points. I think what he did today was sufficient if the other guys play. But the other guys are dependent on him playing well. He had 6 assists, which shows that he was very, very intentional about getting other guys involved. So that's what we really want for him. We want him to score, obviously, but 30, 40, 50 points, all of those scoring efforts really, to me, put our team at a disadvantage, because the other guys are not as involved. 24 with 6 assists is a great game, especially with Lowry being out. Lowry, which would carry that point guard load, Tyrese Maxey picked it up. Awesome game by Maxey. A sign of things to come, especially for next year, to just step up as that leader, a coming of age. So great game, great leadership game. And I think going up against Harden probably had a little bit of added incentive as well. Student overtaking the teacher. And the last point in the 6 for 6 is our coaching staff. That it goes a lot unnoticed, but you have to give props to the coaching staff. I know we got Nick Nurse over there, we got Rico Hines over there, and the thing about it today was that the coaching was clearly evident on both ends of the floor. Offensively, you could tell that there was a plan. Defensively, you could tell there was a plan to shut down their perimeter. They were not going to let Kawhi Leonard beat them. They were really not going to allow James Harden to beat them, but they really want to shut Kawhi Leonard down, double teaming him, and that's why Harden got a lot of open looks. But the coaching staff is figuring out this lineup. Even when guys are injured, Batum was out today, Lowry was out today, and obviously Roquel and Embiid and Melton were out. But even when guys are out, they still are figuring out a way to win games. And shout out to Coach Nurse and the coaching staff. Great coaching job today. Everything was on point. And guys didn't lose their intensity. They played all 4 quarters. It's an encouraging win because it really shows what we can do even when Embiid is not in the game, and we're all going to be all the better when he does come back. So that's the 6 for 6, my 6 points. And I do want to quickly, I won't do 6 points for each previous game, but I do want to quickly go into the previous games. Those 6 points are on Facebook if you log on there. But the Lakers, that was a tough loss because I didn't feel like the Lakers were really the better team. But that was second game of the West Coast stint. I thought Harris played a good game. And I thought that the defense wasn't bad. Really what it came down to was the bench play was not great. The bench didn't give much effort. Nobody in the bench had broke double digits. Buddy Hield ended the game with 5 points. And Campaign didn't really look like he wanted to be there that game. And Paul Reed was just not even a factor in the game. So I felt that Maxey in the game against the Lakers was just trying too hard. He ended with 27 points. Ironically, we just talked about how well he did, scoring 24 today. He scored 27 points, but he didn't look efficient. He didn't shoot well, and he just didn't exhibit that leadership. So went down to the Lakers, and they defended well against LeBron and everything, but just in the end, it just didn't do enough to win. And then the first loss of the the West Coast swing was against the Phoenix Suns. And that also, we lost to Phoenix 102-115. I just chalked that one up to jet lag. Basically, they came off the jet, and just coming from Philly to Phoenix, needed a day to recuperate, didn't have it. And Tyrese Maxey was absolutely terrible. Let me see how many he scored that game. He scored 6 points. If Tyrese Maxey is going to score 6 points, it's going to be tough for us to win. But everybody was bad that game. The only person that really broke out was Oubre. Played pretty well, but even he was 7 of 20 from the field. Team just couldn't get off that game. At the end of the game, because we were getting blown out, Doughton had to end it with 12. Ricky Council ended with 10, but that wasn't really during to impact the game. So that's it. The Suns took over, and what was the area the Suns really took over? Free throws, rebounds. We got out rebounded 38-55. So anytime that we get out rebounded like that, Kevin Durant was doing his thing. Obviously, we did. What's his name? Bradley Beal. I think he was held to like 2 points. So that was the bright spot in the game. But Beal hasn't really been Beal of old this entire year. And, of course, Devin Booker is Devin Booker. But really the engine that makes him go is going to be KD. And we weren't able to stop him. It was just an easy win by the Suns. But it was a lethargic effort by the Sixers. They didn't look great that game. So that kind of recaps the 2 games. And then the 6 for 6 on the Clippers game. And let's see who we got next up. And then we will get out of here. Sixers. Hold on. Next up, we will be playing the Kings. And that's tomorrow night. So good that we got this early game. Tomorrow, another late night. So I probably won't put up a video tomorrow night. But you can catch the recap on the Facebook page. Please like, share, subscribe. See us on Facebook. We need to expand to the Instagram, the Snapchats, all of that stuff. But I'm not no young guy. I gotta figure all that stuff out. I'm gonna stick with what I know now. It took me long enough to even learn this and to also learn Facebook and how to go live on Facebook and all that. But one thing at a time. 6 for Sixers podcast. I am your host, your brother, Creek, the Phillies fanatic. Not the baseball Philly fanatic, but Philadelphia fanatic. I've been a Philadelphia fan all my life. And go Sixers, play the song, keep playing the song, and hopefully we can show up and get a second game in Dallas and kind of even out this road swing, because it'd be great for our record. We need it. We need all the wins we can get, especially the road ones. Great game. Comment any comments that you have, anything that I missed, put it in the comments. Anything you want to discuss, put it in the comments. All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace. Great team win. See you on the next one. Dallas Mavericks coming up. Later. 6 for Sixers podcast.